Welcome to Family Awareness Talk Show from Nour Al Sharq TV. Since all couples have worries towards their financial problems and how they should manage their life before getting married. In this episode, we'll be discussing the financial issues Lebanese couples face when they approach the preparation for marriage and what are the differences between the West and the East regarding the cooperation between couples, the differences planning for marriage between the West and the East, especially in Lebanon. What are the obstacles and what are the advantages in both regions? We will have Dr. Carlos Biaggi from Argentina, Dean of Business School at Middle East University. And from inside the studio, we have Dr. Taleb Saad, economist and a manager of a company. Hello, Professor Carlos. Since you have lived and worked in both countries, Argentina and in Lebanon, you have also met couples preparing for marriage in the different regions, in the two different regions. Would you please tell us about the advantages and the obstacles that are found in both regions?
Sure. I perceive that there are some similarities and some differences in how couples approach their wedding and the planning for their lives together. Some similarities in both cultures are, for example, that there are wedding lists in which friends and relatives can give gifts. Also, that families help and friends with part of the wedding expenses or the appliances or the furniture that they need for their apartment. But I found two key differences in these two cultures, Argentina and Lebanon. One is the wedding. And the second thing I see as a big difference is that here in Lebanon, most couples prefer to have their own apartment or housing before they get married. They want to buy their own apartment. Here, some of my master students, they tell me in the university, oh, I'm still single because I need to still save $50,000 to be able to pay the down payment for my apartment and have the fancy wedding that my fiancé wants. And in Argentina, it's not like that. We just, as long as both of us, the couple, have a stable income, a salary, even as an employee, and with that income, you can afford paying the rent for an apartment, that's good enough to get married.
What are the steps each couple should take before marriage from the financial perspective?
Well, I think the steps that couples should consider while they are engaged before getting married is, I would say, 3 steps. Number 1, to evaluate your future partner. What are his or her shopping characteristics? Is he or she a careful shopper or a compulsive buyer? Is that person always operating on a budget or not? Does the person have credit card debt or not? Loans and so forth. Is the person in an attitude to save constantly and invest or not? A part of that evaluation needs to be very open and freely communication between the two partners. So ask questions. Feel free to ask and feel free to share your own opinions and your own views of financial management in a family. And thirdly, make plans together. It's important for the couple to agree, even before the wedding, on how the finances of the family will be managed. Otherwise, we may have unpleasant consequences later on.
In the Middle East, especially in Lebanon, we know that the girl's parents ask their son-in-law to have his own apartment. And as you said, that one of your Lebanese students told you he should take a loan and pay a down payment in order to pay an apartment, which is, it is a burden for Lebanese couples to take a loan. The question is, do parents-in-law as their son-in-law force their son-in-law in Argentina to buy an apartment, or it's fine, just he has to have his work?
As long as the couple can afford renting an apartment, that's good enough for the parents and the in-laws to accept their children to get married.
Why do you think we have these conflicts between the two cultures in Lebanon and in the West?
I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of security and safety in the minds of the parents and the in-laws to let their children go, especially the daughter, to let the daughter go and marry this guy, this individual from another family. I think it's a cultural issue of security, what is needed for security.
In case couples have not studied their financial status before approaching marriage, what are the consequences?
Well, according to my experience, this is very critical because when the couple don't talk, don't communicate, and don't agree on how they will finance they will manage their money, there can be, as I said, unpleasant surprises. Like, for example, you find out that your partner now has a big debt that now you need to help to repay, or that the other person is a careless, compulsive buyer spending beyond your income, or that the person doesn't have the view of life of having long-term objectives and goals for which to work in life together. So when you find these disagreements, the natural result will be discussions, anger, frustration, fights, and in the Western world, we have statistics that 90% more or less of all divorces are related to financial disagreements.
And lastly, your advice for each couple, whether in Argentina and in Lebanon.
Well, I suggest that they talk freely, that they open their hearts to their partner or their future partner in relation to your views, your attitudes related to money management. Some of the questions that they need to consider, for example, is, are we going to have joint or separate bank accounts? Some families prefer to have joint accounts and do one family budget, including the income or the salaries of both partners. Others prefer to have separate bank accounts. This is something important to discuss beforehand. Also, the view on budgeting and agree on the importance of having a monthly budget of income and expenses, and then comply or abide by that budget. What will be the use of credit? In what circumstances they will agree get credit or loan, and in which circumstances they will say, no, we will not use loans, credit for this type of expense. Whether they will involve all the family members in the discussion about the family finances. I would suggest that even children from young age, when they can sum and they can do simple calculation, they can also participate in the budgeting of the family. And then agreeing on the main financial planning of the family, and by this I talk about savings. What will be the main savings goals? For example, for vacation, for car, for the house, for children education, for retirement. Also, what type of investments they will try to achieve in order to secure those savings with the pass of time. And thirdly, what kind of insurance they want to contract to against their property and their health.
Dr. Carlos Biaggi from Argentina, Dean of Middle East University at Business School. Thank you so much for giving us your precious time. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in another episode. Welcome, Dr. Taleb Saad, economist and a businessman, and at the same time, a father. Dr. Taleb Saad, we're happy that you gave us a time for this episode so you can enrich the Family Awareness Talk Show with your experience from the side of a businessman and from the side of a father. So, of course, let's go back when you wanted to arrange your marriage. So, in Lebanon, we have many obstacles for couples who intend to get engaged and to get married.
Yes.
So, in this case, many of the couples have their own management, and while others have the management of the parents. That means they are supported by their parents. So could you give us, like, from your academic perspective, what is the management couples usually take or should take?
First, let me thank you and thank your audience. You are trying to push awareness up, and this is needed in this time to our society and people. Also, I would like to thank Dr. Carlos for giving us his point of view from maybe Argentina background, and maybe I can make a correlation between what they think in Argentina and many other countries in the West. Second, you started your speech in management, so you made this topic under a big title, which is management. Management is not only a term; it is a strategy. It's used by a company, by a government, by a family, by a school, education. It's a wide. To make a successful story, you have to make a good management for any subject, for any topic. Now, how couples are preparing themselves to enter a new life, to enter or to start a new trip, if they're having many obstacles in a society, suffering from several,
especially in Lebanese side.
Yes, and now we are living in a crisis, financial crisis, economical crisis, regardless of the medical corona, which is affecting the whole world. To go back to this topic, I would like to put the audience in a frame and to let them think with us in 5 main points. I tried to combine between academic point of view and experience point of view. And these 5 topics, it could be applied to any management or strategic point of view.
Whether in Lebanon or in the West?
Yes.
Okay.
And if you want to differentiate in a later stage between what is the difference between Lebanon and other countries, it depends on the culture. So the culture that differs from a side to another. But these topics, it could be applied to any area in this
That's
world.
Good.
Because at the end we all are human, and the humans have many common, either in West, East, whatever. Let's start with the first, let me say, criteria. It's about knowledge. Knowledge, you can have many subtitles under this title, and wherever the couples have a good knowledge about how to prepare themselves to this step, the coming step, they can draw a plan for example, how many kids they are planning to have. Because if you can differentiate between sometimes the countries or the areas which are in the cities and with people with higher education,
yes.
They try to have a little amount of kids.
Yes, many couples are inspired by the flame of love, and they don't think that after marriage we're going to have kids. So they don't make management for after marriage. They only try to make management before marriage, like the wedding and the apartment and the car and
yes.
Impressing the neighborhood.
Exactly. This is the effect of the culture at the same time. But here, this is we can consider it a mismanagement. We are giving awareness
yes,
in this episode to let them think in this part. Not only, as you said, the flame of love and how to prepare the wedding, what we are going to, where to live, who to invite. So these this phase will be finished immediately.
Yes, because you know they are just busy with the neighborhood, with the surrounding, with relatives, and the wedding. They are not aware of what's going to happen after the wedding.
After, yes. So it's not the honeymoon and the effect of the honeymoon. It's a short period of time, and the reality they will face a new reality. And to make a successful marriage, they have to put these criteria in their consideration. So after studying this part under knowledge, and knowledge, I said it's a wide topic, I will go to another side, which is power. Power may be interesting. You can here put the power of love, the power of communication, the power of in job, in everything. You need power in this life. Not only the power you have to put it in a negative side. It's good. The self-confidence, self-esteem is a power.
Yes.
So putting this power, and mainly the power of love, that will cover this life and prepare the kind of roadmap for them. It will help them a lot in making this life easier. The third criteria, it's about organization. To be organized and well prepared and plan is something very important to make successful also trip. I will make it short to benefit from the time. The fourth one is it's polemic. What is polemic? Polemic is a term. It could be applied in management, in country, and political parties even. And here I'm trying to apply it in the dialectic between the man and woman in the form of marriage. It's a kind of open and clear and transparent discussion in everything. It's understanding. It's a kind of positive interaction between them. It's
because they are the ones who are responsible for their life.
Exactly.
You mean without the family interference, as it's known in Lebanon? You know, parents interfere in everything.
Yes, this is a traditional way of it. And the last one I want to and I I'm trying to say it at the end is the profit. You can cancel the meaning of profit, or you can use it in a financial management. Financial management is a main criteria, but I try to keep it till the end on purpose, because I think it's a very important matter, how to manage life in a good financial plan. Some writers put this item or criteria and wrote a lot about it, and put under it many points like saving for future security, making a clear plan how to spend money, how to save money, what are the priorities in your life, where to live, which kind of school and education will provide to your kids in the future, maybe the lifestyle, social life. This part here we have to let people know, to understand how to differentiate between their reality and the virtual life that they might face it through social media, through their neighbors, the effect of their parents and traditional point of view. This part should be critical in the plan for making a good family.
Just occurred to my mind a question.
Yes.
During the Lebanese financial problems, actually, which is the fiscal policy and the government, what this management plan can benefit the couples who are facing mercurial or ups and downs in the fiscal management. so they plan something and they encounter something else. For example, we were talking before we go to this episode that I have seen couples, they canceled marriage, not because of Corona, but because of the financial status each family live, and the government, as I told you, it's like something goes unstable, you know. So what do you think this will benefit the current couples who are planning to get married?
Actually, I don't. Very good question, because this will take us to talk in the macroeconomics and the plan that the government should apply for the people of the country. Here we can open another subject related to the social contract and the responsibility that the government should give to the people. Unfortunately, now all the data is giving that Lebanon is facing a critical financial crisis. More than 60% of the people are under the poverty line, which is dangerous, and the number is expected to be higher. More than 45 to 50% of the people are unemployed. Many small and SMEs, small and medium enterprises, are under the threat of bankruptcy. Banks are controlling the money of all the Lebanese society. I don't want to enter in all these details, but to make or to take the part that is related to people who are planning to manage and make family. 3 years ago, we can see that the banking system under the government, they stopped the home loans, which is a main part that affect the marriage plan for people.
Yeah, do you think it has dissolved the dreams of each couple who are intending to get married?
Of course,
dissolved it.
Of course, because when a couple, when a couple are planning to get married, and in their plan they have a main aspect, which is to find a home, to buy a home, or to rent. Renting a home, you know, it depends on the culture. It's not easy to rent and pay for nothing at the end. People prefer to go to home loans, which are not available anymore. So, as you said, it's make a cut between this dream and the reality. Another matter is that this financial crisis and the effect of it will let people to count till not 10 and 100,000 maybe if this step now is affordable or not. So the strategies and the plans that are made from the government is affecting in a big part these plans for these couples.
You know, we have encountered actually currently, especially since last May, like it's been like almost 1 year and a month now, that the new Lebanese immigrants are couples who are engaged and plan to get married. So personally, I met them because we help couples for guidance when they want to live outside, whether in Australia or Canada or United States. So they told us that they don't feel they're going to be a successful couple and build their own families in Lebanon. For the current situation in Lebanon, how much do you think this problem will increase? And for the people who want to stay in Lebanon and don't want to leave, for the couples, what would you say to them? How can they manage, and do you think there's a hope?
We have to believe in hope every time. We should not say that there is no hope. Once there is no hope, the life ends. But also we have to think in, I believe in nature. I believe that physics lead the life. So here to make this step for couples, the couples are obliged for both of them to be working in a society and get paid from their jobs. If one of them now is not having a job, this will affect their plan. So how come if both of them now are unemployed and they are facing big troubles? So they have to think maybe by nature to find alternatives. These alternatives may be outside Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to make them or to give them hopes, we have to find another strategy, which is based from the coming from the government, from the vision of the leaders, the regime, which is not found till now, and is affecting the future and the hopes of our generations. This is sadly true, but how to face it? I want to be clear and honest with people. It's not a matter of what I have to say and put positive vibes while the regime is putting a negative strategies. We need to be positive, and I believe that every crisis, you know, in the economic cycle, we have a recession, and after recession, the economy will go up again. In this period, in this curve, here the hopes will reveals again. So, but maybe we need some dark or hard years to pass this period.
Yes. One last question regarding the current situation, actually, and couples.
Yes.
So, as we said, that couples are trying to immigrate to find a prosperous life for their dreams
and better opportunities.
And better opportunities. So, they look outside. So, as we said, that there's always hope in the country. The government, as we are discussing now, we feel that the government is not only supporting, it's not only don't want to support the couples, they are losing the treasure of having the Lebanese people in the country. So if you want to give an advice, an encouraging opinion to the Lebanese couples who don't want to immigrate and want to get married and have their life here, and then later they have their own children, what is your last advice and opinion about the whole subject?
In every period of time, there are several stages or opportunities or threats. So now we have to face this reality by making a SWOT analysis. Now we are in a threaten, and how to manage this period. I think couples should be aware and understand that this level should be managed by the little capacity and the little availability for opportunities. They have to live in, we say in finance, break even. The break even is between having the minimum requirement with the available resources. So this point, it's a critical it needs patience. It needs to be. I don't know how to say it, but it needs to be aware to be aware that this period of time will end soon, and they have to be prepared for the opportunities that are coming. Losing hope is like dying, so they have to keep searching for any job, to keep their hopes up, and Lebanon will go again to the good level of prosperity. I believe in this after this crisis, and all our people, all our generation, I expect that they are having a better future in this life after we are moving from banking and economy based on interest to an economy based on production, agriculture, industry, which will provide many opportunities for all the Lebanese people.
Dr. Taleb, Saad, thank you so much for the precious information you have added to Family Awareness Program, and thank you for lifting the spirits of the couples who are intending to get married. We thank you for the hope you have added to this episode. Thank you so much, our audience. Thank you so much for watching us.